today I'm going to show you exactly how I hit 5 million single target DPS on the first boss of 18 Motherlode on my Unholy DK. This was not luck. I'll break down the full rotation, talent choices, CD timings, and the setup that's going to absolutely melt bosses for you in Mythic Plus. Whether you're trying to push higher keys or just master Unholy Burst windows, I've got you covered. I'll be talking a little bit about the single target rotation here, and then a little bit about the AoE rotation, but mainly focusing on why we are able to do this amount of damage, why I'm saving my cooldowns for the specific timers, and then what I'm doing when I get that window. So let's break down some of those talents, the interactions of Unholy DK, so you can absolutely destroy some of these keys. The core flow for Unholy DK single target is going to be juggling Sudden Doom procs with using your Vampiric Strike. When you use a Vampiric Strike after Sudden Doom, you will have this strength buff that you get from using that proc. Your Sudden Dooms with your Deathcoil has a chance to pop your Festering Wounds as well, which could in turn give you another Sudden Doom right back. So we want to make sure that when we get to one stack, we either want to know that we can use it right away, or we could pool up to 2, but we never want to go past 2. If you have 2 Sudden Dooms, we need to be using that proc, or we will end up munching it, because if we use our Vampiric Strike next, it ends up proccing one, or let's say you use your Deathcoil, that Deathcoil could indeed re-proc for you another Sudden Doom if it procs a wound. So make sure that you always have your Death and Decay down single target. That is randomly going to be applying wounds to your target just out of nowhere. So it also, while you're standing in it, gives you a big haste buff. So make sure that you are utilizing your Death and Decay in AoE and single target. It is not just a single, not just an AoE ability. So make sure that we're utilizing that, and make sure that your pet is always attacking the main target. The main target is going to be giving you wounds from when your pet uses Claw. As a side thing, whenever he does his knockback here, if you use AMS plus your Death's Advance, it pretty much lines up with every single one of the overlaps there, so you never actually get hit. Your healer never has to heal you, and you're just more raw output for the key. So when we look at this and we break it down, you need to be saving your CDs for windows that will have the absolute most impact. So if I went into this pull and at the very beginning I just blew all my CDs, I'd be probably doing like 1.5 million damage less. But because I save my CDs for the windows where it will overlap with either the execute phase or sending the bombs in to do more damage. So let's break down some of the very, very specific interactions that I have to do and that you're going to have to learn to absolutely blast with Unholy DK. So make sure you are always using your Death and Decay on CD. It's a huge part of your AoE and single target rotation. Remember, your pet melee attacks and when you use Dark Transformation are going to apply Festering Wounds and then apply your Virulent Plagues. So you always want to make sure your pet is attacking your main target. Whenever you use a Sudden Doom proc, they will summon a Magus for you, and it will also give you a Visceral Strength buff for 5 seconds. So each time you get a Visceral Strength buff, you want to try to get the most you possibly can out of it. So if you use a Sudden Doom back to back to back, you will not get the maximum value out of it. So you want to try to at least use one global in between the Sudden Dooms so you can get the maximum uptime on that Visceral Strength buff. And then you look at each time you use your Sudden Doom, you're going to get those Maguses, and those Maguses are going to do a decent amount of damage to your single target. So you can't really sleep on cycling between those two things, because if you just spam your CDs, they will not do anywhere near as much damage. So we'll go back to the pull. I'm trying to set up my Festering Wounds as soon as we get that 6 stacks, because I am just going to pop every wound while I'm in this to give myself the best chance to get those Festering Wound procs, and that's how I'm getting up to pretty much sustained 4.5 million across a 3-minute fight on single target. And then right here, just always remember, you want to give your healer the best chance at like getting the most DPS in possible. So if they have to heal you, plus a lot of us are running the versatility over 80%. There's a lot of value for us staying above 80%. It's the difference between having thousands and thousands of, I think it's 1400 or something, just versatility. So as long as you're above that threshold of health, you are going to get so much extra health and, so much extra verse, and then it's safer for you anyway. So you help the healer, you stay above 80%, you get a lot more verse. we're just trying to always, as you can see the action tracker, I'm always just trying to cycle out my Sudden Doom procs and get my absolute maximum value out of my Dark Transformation. Right there, ended at 13 seconds. That's pretty good. So in 10 seconds, I'm able to just use it again. The bombs are coming back out. I'm using my Festering Strike, getting my Defile down, trying to stack up some of my wounds and my strength buff, everything. Now we have 5 or 6 in, and I'm just going to use all of my CDs. So I hope that gives a little bit of a breakdown on how to do some single target DPS. I have a AoE guide. I can put a card up somewhere over here, or probably just show a picture of it, but if you're interested in that, you can watch that. I also am going to be putting up some keys. I have some 17s that I'm going to be uploading soon, so if you're interested in watching those, I'm probably going to do a full commentary over that. I'll be pushing on Unholy DK, Arcane, and Mage, so yeah, Frost Mage as well, I mean, and I think this season's been pretty fun so far. I'm glad the Turbo Boost came out. I can't believe they time-gated the vision, so I will catch you guys later. Ask some questions in the comments. Subscribe if you're interested in more videos like this. Thanks, guys.